Okay.
These are called bee barns. They can hook 5 packages together. It just uses a simple, like, tongue and groove locking mechanism. When you get packages, you're going to get them either from like a Tractor Supply locally. They're still shipping them from a place like Man Lake, a few other major companies. These came directly from Man Lake from the post office. I will say about Man Lake, a little bit of confusion because they're treated as live animals. Post offices won't normally scan them the right way, and as a result, it'll say, we're going to ship it at some point, until this morning at 5 o'clock when it said they're here. So I got no updates. When I take this off, you'll see that they've got a can of, I'm going to go ahead and separate them. So all you have to do to separate these is just figure out which side it separates on. James, come right here and just hold on to put your hands right there, because I'm going to push this off your direction. Okay, so they just come apart like that. Nukes are different in one sense, that when you have a nucleus hive, there's more likely that you'll actually have bees hanging out on the outside. Packages, because they're just 3 pounds of bees and they're going to the postal service, anything that's hanging on the outside will be dead by the time it gets here, so it's not going to stay. So hold on to this one when I do this again. Which was this one go? Yep, this one go. I actually had to look up a YouTube video on how to do this. That'll make them happy. All right, so first of all, come pick them up. See how heavy they are. It's surprising. Go ahead and lift that one up.
Oh, honey, you have gloves for her?
If when we get to that point, if you want some gloves, I've got gloves here for you if you want them. All right. Anyway, so what I do when I get them is I'm actually going to label them A, B, and C. As we get started, we're going to name the queens. Each team is going to actually name one of the queen or that hive. But I also want to keep track of them. So what I do when I first got it, I actually went ahead and weighed everything. What I'll do after I'm done taking these out is I'll go back in and weigh the packages themselves, and that gives me a net weight of how much the bees weigh. Anyway, when they arrive, they're in what's called a swarm mode, and the fact that they're in a swarm mode means that there's nothing they're protecting. So if you get in there and look really closely through the light, what you can actually see is actually a cluster. So they're all hanging out in that big cluster, right? So that's how they'll travel. Nukes, on the other hand, because they've already started building out brood and comb and stuff, they're down in the box itself. So that's why with the package we don't need smoke. Now I'll wear a veil, like I said, just because we will have some flying out, and if they get in your hair, in your head, and you have a tendency to like do this, then you're going to get stung because you'll crush them. The process that we go through, I've seen a couple of different variations, and one of the variations that I've seen that I really don't like is, and I think I've even seen it on the Man Lake's website, is they'll take a spray bottle of sugar water and they'll spray the bees. One of the reasons they do that is because it keeps the bees from flying, but the reason I don't like to do that is because we're in spring, you're getting a package that's usually, 3 to 4 weeks before the rest of the people are getting their bees. It's cold, they're already stressed out. Spraying them down doesn't help them at all it does is help us. Before I actually install those, what I want to do real quick, I told you before that I had decided on different frames. So my hope is that out of the frames that I had in the house, I can find 3 or 4 good frames for each one of these hives. So this one, even though, if we look closely at this, Sonny, you want to get in here and look at this one closely? Yeah. So even though this one is kind of beat up, there's already a lot of comb out there. And I'll talk about this more in our next class, but the one thing about the hive, bees are absolutely drawn to honeycomb. So if it's already built out, they're going to go up there and try to build out more. They're not drawn to plastic at all. So anything that we can give them, even if it's beat up like this, is going to attract them, and they're going to continue to build it out more. And because of the way bees work, this frame, anything that's on this side of that, even if the frame over here is completely blank, they're super attracted to that because they're thinking, we got to fill this space up. This side has honeycomb, and so they'll immediately start working on the other one. So I'm not going to do all these right now. These were frames that I had from last year. See, that one's gotten some mold on it. So I'm not going to use that one. The bees will do a pretty decent job of getting rid of mold, but if it's bad like that, I'd prefer not to. They're real good. They're good. They're sanitary and house cleaners. We'll edit the video later.
Goodness.
All right, so if you look at that one, even though there's still some honey on there, there's a lot of really good comb on that. And again, even though it's beat up like this, right, and it's not completely filled out, putting it down in here is really going to attract them to do more.
Do you have more than one box of those?
I do. So I want to save the other ones. So even if I have to give them. So here's one more. Look at that frame. It's an old honey frame. We scraped it and we spun it out, and they'll clean all this up. They're really good at it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put these 3 frames down in here, and then, can you put it on pause just for a second?
Yep.